17-0, 13 of which KOs, and a rise in MMA record of 3-0. All amassed at the age of 18, indicating that Tenshin Nasukawa is still probably in high school, if not just out. That is insane. Those are the kinds of stats you see in an anime exaggerating the main character.
It's over 9,000! 9,000!
With his fancy hair, I'm pretty sure he's on his way to being serialized in one. As unreal as all of this may sound, this kid is the real deal, and the reasons why are transparent even at first glance. Let's now dive a little deeper in our understanding of this child prodigy. Lawrence Kenshin mentioned that Tenshin's fighting style was a high level of kickboxing and Muay Thai, but typology indicates his core style is actually Kyokushin karate. He does have that capacity to mix up his combinations fluidly with knees and elbows, but he definitely looks more karate in his sense for rhythm and lightness. Even throwing flashier high-skill kicks known in Kyokushin like the Rolling Thunder or Kyokushin Wheel Kick. Definitely spinning back kicks and such in his mix-up as well. He's this mix of technical prowess and flash, all done so clean, so seamlessly, effortlessly. It looks normal, like he isn't even trying. That it's just a natural expression of his being. What's even more incredible is the why he strikes. It's almost as if the art and science of boxing is being used at that high level in all of his strikes, kicks and all. That ability to understand, feel, and exploit rhythm. The half-beat with devastating speed yet surgical precision. Reading reactions with each strike, attuning the next strike based upon the first with a firm understanding of feints, and a near instantaneous reaction for counterpunches. Tenshin is a prodigy who at 18 somehow managed to become a whole package stand-up fighter. Precise, fluid, light on his feet, blinding speed, with the recovery time in between each of his strikes just as incredible as the speed of execution, all tightly knit in crisp, clean, technical form. Tenshin is also a southpaw, which may also partially explain his fighting capacity. Southpaws have an inherent advantage in combat simply because of their novelty. There's less of them. This essentially means, on average, we will have less experience training with someone who uses southpaw stance, and because their striking philosophy has differences versus orthodox, they will have a slight if not great knowledge advantage over their opponents, whilst the southpaw has a sea of orthodox fighters to refine their style, their philosophy against. Also, because the lead foot is typically blocked by the opponent's lead foot, it's harder to step in with a jab alongside the opponent's lead hand blocking yours. But due to the dynamic of how we conventionally guard, with a southpaw, you both also become more open to each other's power hands, to which the southpaw who has more experience is given that double edge and increased KO potential. In a game of inches, that could mean meters based upon the experience of the opponent. When I look at Tenshin, I see a supercomputer. He is completely unemotional. He has the same face as Faker playing an impossibly high skill cap computer game, but Tenshin is doing it in the high stakes world of unarmed combat, a world full of real consequences. That supreme calm is what gives him his fluidity, allows his clean technical prowess, his ability to articulately solve the problem before him based upon what the moment calls, quickly yet efficiently. Without that mind of absolute pure ice, Tenshin would not be what he is. Clearly, a genius. Match begins, and just observe southpaw philosophy in action. The lead foot blocked by the opponent's lead foot alongside opponent's lead hand blocking Tenshin's lead hand. Thus the jab is working like a pro, feeling for rhythm, feeling for reactions. Now, this may look like a simple feint, but it's not. Tenshin tested how his opponent would react when he feinted on the half beat of his rhythm. Watch as weight is almost distributed into his lead foot, then Tenshin feints. This is a core principle in boxing and perhaps in karate as well. Lyoto Machida's sense for rhythm is incredible too. Tenshin does it again, smaller feint on the half beat. Now watch, as his opponent jabs before his weight is distributed to the back foot, Tenshin jabs with a little more intent. Here his opponent probably tried to copy the KO all over one FC, feinting with a roundhouse into a spinning hook kick with the other leg. Tenshin's opponent is pressured against the ropes. Watch as he feints with his right, and just the speed at which he executes the following combo. It's too much for his opponent to process. Tenshin didn't give him the room to launch a counterattack. Just notice how the right jab landed so effortlessly, straight down the pipe with no defense versed at all. Why? The feints and probing with the right have masked its intent as a feint and probe, so if you consider the hypnotic or metronomical pressure he's been applying with his right the entire time, when he broke its character and committed to a real jab, due to that element of surprise, the punch was essentially undetectable. The reality of that punch landing so effortlessly. It triggers Francesco, and like a wild beast cornered, he bares his fangs and lashes out to bite. But it's what Tenshin wants. Too telegraphed. He sees the big load up in the right. He feels the huge intent. Tenshin throws out his right arm as a counterbalance as he slides back and like a phantom. He isn't there. The punch flows by, and with surgical precision, overhand hook to the chin. Beautiful. You can actually try this slide yourself. Slide back on the balls of your feet, then try it again by throwing your lead hand forward. It helps act as a gauge as it brushes against your opponent, whilst helping you move more effectively backwards by acting as a counterbalance. It's essentially utilizing Newton's third law. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Francesco retains his cool, grasps Tenshin's right, feints in Tenshin with his right, then throws a leg kick. Tenshin steps in, feints a slip overhand, and he gets a huge reaction. Notice how Tenshin is smiling, perfectly calm, almost sadistic. He knows Francesco is clearly afraid of him. Now again, probing with the right, fueling Francesco as he pressures him against the ropes, to which Francesco is heavily reacting to everything. Whilst his attacks and that pressure are too stiff and too telegraphed to do anything versus Tenshin. Setting it up with many feints, clean jab overhand roundhouse. Francesco is hurt, Tenshin, smells blood. Jab overhand, and the game just ends. At first glance, Tenshin makes his opponents almost look unskilled. But that's just relativity. It's the difference in overall speed and skill. Similarly, how Wayne Gretzky has literally more assists than anyone else has points in hockey, that sometimes there comes along an individual so much better than everyone else, it makes them look like they haven't even trained for the fight. Tenshin is one of those warriors, and at 125 pounds, he's absolutely gifted both body and mind. I believe if he continues to fight at this rate, this young man might be the future. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you did. It's good karma. And until next time, peace.